Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Wrenches in Motion, where if it ain't broke, I ain't buying it. And today, well, I've got some sad news. My father passed away last night. So I'm on my way to New York, and we're taking Snowflake. Now, one thing we noticed with Snowflake is we've got the check engine light, and sometimes the VTM4 light comes on. So we're going to try this method. I've seen it before. We are going to dump 2 quarts of lacquer thinner into the gas tank, which is supposed to clean the catalytic converter. So we're going to give that a shot. If it blows up, well, I mean, it's got 282,000 miles on it, so is it really a loss? Not really. It is a little bit hard to start and runs rough for the first 10 seconds or so, and then it smooths out and it runs great. So we're going to see if we can get this in the tank. I don't know if we're going to be able to without a funnel, so maybe we'll have to see what we can get. Well, I'd say we did better than I thought we were going to do. I'd say we got 1 quart and 3/4 in there out of 2 quarts. Not bad. The tank's full of premium, and who gets a sliver there? That is in a painful spot. So I'm going to see if I can get that out here pretty soon. So that being said, let's start this thing up and head to New York. And for those of you that are worried, oh my gosh, that lacquer thinner is going to destroy everything, think about dilution. There's 20 gallons of fuel and 2 quarts of lacquer thinner, and I'm going to hit the interstate and burn it all out in 4 hours. So I am totally not worried about seals or anything else blowing. Alright, so we just took off, heading down the road, and yep, VTM4 light came on too. So that's normal for this anyway. So yeah, let's see what happens. It's supposed to take 4 hours and a couple of restarts before it clears itself. So I guess we'll just drive and see what happens. We got a long way to go. Alright, so here we are. It's 110.7 miles. I don't remember when I put the lacquer thinner in. I think it was about 90. I think it's about 20 miles from home. And here we are on I-95, of course. Stopped like crazy, like it always is. So it is 2:41. I should get there about 11 tonight. We'll see. And the VTM and yep, those are still on. So still trucking. Alright, well, we're at the first rest area, and some people say you can smell something in the exhaust, but to me it just smells like exhaust, so take that with a grain of salt. And we just started it, and we got just the check engine light on, so I'm sure VTM4 will come on in a second. Well, we are at the West Virginia rest area off of I-81. Just got into West Virginia. Put about 225 miles on the car so far with the lacquer thinner in the gas tank. Normally I stop up at Queen Street, which is probably about another 25 miles up. But I think for this trip, I'm going to keep going up into Pennsylvania, even though I don't like the gas there because it's real expensive. Just so I can burn as much of this stuff out as I can before I refill it. So that's the plan, and let's try to stick to that. Well, here we are at a Flying J in Hershey, Pennsylvania. We've gone 344 miles with the lacquer thinner in the tank, and the gauge is showing 38 miles left. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up with some premium here, and that should get us to New York, and we'll see what happens. I seriously doubt the light's going to turn itself off. Let me close out this video by saying that the lacquer thinner trick did not work for the MDX. I took Snowflake all the way up to New York, and when I got there, took my code reader, cleared the codes, and sure enough, P0430 was still pending later, so obviously it needs that rear cat. And here's where the story's going to take a twist. I put it up for sale while I was up there just to see what would happen, and less than a day later it was sold. So that meant I didn't have a ride back home. But the RAV4, as we know right there, was getting the transmission done, and it was finished. So I flew down to Columbia, South Carolina, picked it up, and drove it home.